In the past couple of movies, we've been examining ways to get sound effects to line up with tempo. And in this movie, we'll look at how to adjust the pitch of sound effects. Now, it's really jarring when you have music in one key and the sound effect is like a half a tone from the root. Sometimes it's better when it's way off because it might be a third or a fifth of the scale and it might actually fit in with the key you're in. But if the music's in B and the sound effect is in C, well, that's kind of jarring. Here's an example of that. Well, what a mood killer that is. So that church bell would be a nice effect if it weren't so clangy and out of tune. Now I could, because this is MIDI, I could raise the pitch of the piano to C, but even the church bell in C is a little bit off from dead on C. So let's see how we can fix the church bell to make it fit in better with this piece of music. So I have a track here called Tuner. And let's jump to the mix window and see what all is going on here. I think I'm done with my transport. I'll just close that for now. So we pull the volume of the click down and let me lower him too. So why not put this in tune on the track that contains the church bell? Here's why. If I go to multi-channel plugin and other, it doesn't exist in here. It's not a stereo tuner. It's expecting a mono signal like a violin, a flute, a guitar, something that's going to transmit one note at a time. But you can find it if you go to the mono track. You'll see it right there on top. So all I did was create a mono track. We can tell it's got one green stripe instead of two green stripes. So it can contain the tuner. Well, how do I get the church bell to talk to the tuner? Well, remember, every stereo file is a left and a right. So let's pick up the church bell. We'll just go to shuffle mode here and drop him into the tuner track. Trim off the little piece that isn't actually bell. And I think we can mute the piano for this deal. If I jump back here to the mix window and pull up my tuner, I can tell that its pitch is on the high side of C4. Let's change its pitch to B and try and have it be exactly B. I think I'll experiment on the mono side of this. So I'll go to Audio Suite and Pitch Shift, and we'll do this inside the Time Shift plugin. And move him up here so you can see him. And we will transpose this down minus 1.3 semitones. And we'll just listen for a second. I think that'll work. Let me render it and we'll check against the piano. Let's hear it again from the top. And then the easy way to do this, I think, is to save this preset as Tune My Bell. We'll put it in the Time Shift folder. Then let's mute the tuner. We'll go back to the mix window. We'll apply the multi-channel plugin, pitch shift, and it's not there. Because we can't do this in real time from the mix window, we have to choose it from the Audio Suite menu and apply it to the audio file itself. So by that I mean we select the church bell, Audio Suite, Pitch Shift, and there is our plugin. Look in the factory default and Tune My Bell, the preset we made before, is there with its minus 130. We're going to render this file. And let's hear the piano and the church bell together now. Well, there's still a lot of overtones in the church bell, and those are just part of the bell sound. But we have tuned the bell to match the pitch of the track. So let me close this plugin. Let's mute the piano and the church bell. Let's bring in this little dolphin sound. And we'll move him up so we can see him. And here what we have. We're trying to figure out what key we could write in that would make this sound effect work. Let me just cut off the rest of this. We'll just use these first little 3 guys here. So back to the piano. I'm not going to play this melody. I just want to hear some chords against this. So if I just tap a note, I'll just play this dolphin in loop playback. I can verify that loop playback is selected, and we need to mute this piano. I'll mute this clip, and then sort of in the F sharp range, maybe F natural. Let's try him up an octave. I'll select it and just loop it. Well, knowing that, I have some choices. I can put the music in B flat, or in D flat, or in D minor, or one of the F keys, like F major, or F minor. So figuring out what pitch the sound effect is giving you will definitely contour where you want to take the music. And we could apply that same pitch shift that we did to the church bell to the dolphin and get him more in tune. There are some hints for how to conform your sound effects to the music that you're working with.